Welcome to Sly Media. And you already know what time it is. I've been talking about this forever. Found this my episode 1 review on Power Book 3, Kanan. Woo! What a way to start off a first episode. That shows you how hard. Like, this is why I think this episode this season for sure, this series is going to definitely be better than all the rest of the powers. The way it's looking, the way it's set up, it looks like, oh man, it's going to be epic. Like I said, I've always loved the villain origin story. You want to know what happened to this character? What made him so dark? What made him so evil? What was his come up to make him turn into this guy he was? I go back to like why I like the Joker movie so much. It just you got to see what he went through, what happened, what made him turn into the Joker that we all know. So with Kanan, I'm gonna get straight to it. Hold on, right quick. Hold on. This episode starts off with a young Kanan, this is a young baby Kanan, a kid version. He's getting jumped by two boys over here at the basket. I don't think it's the playground slash like basketball court right in front of him and his cousin, right in front of his cousin jukebox. That he's getting jumped and the kids are holding jukebox back. So he's getting jumped and beaten down and took it from his money. And they took his money and everything. So flash forward, he runs back home to his mom with his mom's boyfriend at the current time and he's crying. He's telling his mom, oh, what happened to him? He's telling, oh, the kids took his money because he was just showing around. They took his money. Now they always tell you when you're a young kid, don't go around, keep your money in your pocket, don't share your money or nothing like that. So he was talking about his money, and the kids, robbed and took his money. But this show you how ruthless his mom is, or care how ruthless she is. She's telling him, go back. I think he put something like some hard rocks or something like that, some hard thing. Put him in, put him in a bag and tell him to go back over there and stand your ground. And then, boom, he socks two or three of them kids all all by himself. Just socks to make him bleed. Right, his mom Raquel is right over there, and that just shows you how ruthless his mom was. It shows the beginning of like Kanan become ruthless and aggressive. And with 50 Cent, like him actually narrating this story as well, like him narrating the story as well. He's saying like, oh yeah, this is how I first started from people not knew not to mess with Kanan. So flash forward, we get to the Kanan we're gonna get to see in this series. We see him in high school, and the principal's telling him, oh, he should take this test. He should take it. He passed his test, he can go to a better school. Get a better college and everything like that. Kanan's not seem like he's not for it. He's not for it at all. But his mom's encouraging him and persuading him and his friends, along with his cousin Juice, about to say, yeah, he should take this test. Yeah, go to a better school and to deal with certain kind of stuff and everything like that. Kanan seemed like he against it and all that and everything. He pretty much wants to take care of his mom and pretty much handle everything for her. And it kind of shows you again once as well, like Kanan and Jukebox both had opportunities to leave the ghetto and leave the situation that was there, but they chose to stay where they were at and everything. So I'd like to explore more of that. What happened with him and Jukebox? Like how many opportunities did they have to lead together and lead the hood, but they chose not to. But we see right there the instance where like Kenneth kind of choosing not to. He's on the thick of it, like nah, like I ain't really trying to leave the school where I'm at and everything like that. So we get we'll explore more of that later about him taking tests and going to school and all that. Now Raquel, we see Raquel like she's the head honcho, big time drug dealer, pretty much handling her business and everything like that. One funny part shows how ruthless Raquel is. They at this club. She gets into it with this white girl. I forgot this white girl's name, whatever. She gets into it and the white girl's telling her like, "Oh, I'm not just a scared white woman and nothing like that. I ain't scared of you." And it's so funny. It's so funny. Like a few scenes later, she ends up cooking cooking the white lady's dog in the microwave. It just oh man, it's just hilarious when she does that. I'm like, whoa. The girl, the white woman just wakes up from what she's with her dude in the bed, and she just sees like, oh, what the word, like, dang, she just fries her pretty much, fries the lady's dog. We like, oh shit, dang. So we see that like where Cannon gets his ruthlessness from. His mama straight cold hearted and all that. Then a couple other characters, his two uncles, Raquel's two brothers, her younger brother and her older brother. Her older brother is more like kind of more silly kind of guy, and everything like that. He can be ruthless at the same time, but he's more of a goofball and all that and everything. More laid back, not really. Not really. I'm more really a clown, I should say, for the most part with him. He's more the funny guy, comedic guy, and all that. That's what's his juice box dad. He's more that kind of guy and everything. Then you meet her younger brother, who seems more laid back, more chill, more serious about his business. Like I feel like he'll have more of a bigger role. This seems like I haven't read too much on both of the characters, but it seems like I feel like the younger brother Raquel, that uncle of Kane is gonna be more of a bigger factor, bigger player coming in the next episodes or so. And everything. He's more serious. He like about his business. So yeah, so we get to spoil both of that. Also with Jukebox as well, we already knew, of course, from watching Kanan when him and Jukebox was in power, like that she is gay. Everybody knows that she gay. She like girl, and she ended up having a love affection for this white girl that's from the other side of town and everything. You already seen the clip of how they met, how the white girl's friends look at her and all that and everything like that. But you see the bond they had and see like, oh, they both sung together. That's how they knew each other. Like I said again, it showed like both Kanan and Jukebox had opportunities to lead together where they were at, but they just chose not to. They just because of circumstance or whatever, they just chose a different path. But it's interesting to see like the dynamic. I want to know what happened between her and that white girl. Why it didn't work out. What happened? We don't know yet. It's interesting to see that. So we can see more Jukebox. What made Jukebox more, like I said, ruthless? Because to tell you the truth, like really, Jukebox was 10 times worse than Kanan. When you think about it in Power, like when we saw her in Power, she was way more ruthless than Kanan was. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a energized, more energized more than Kanan, more on steroids, pretty much. Say a stronger version, more ruthless than Kanan. When we see her in Power, so I like to see what happened to her. What made her like more cold hearted and ruthless as well. Like why she was almost worse, pretty much. I say worse than Kanan. Somebody might disagree with me in the comment section, but yeah, like I think she's a little bit more. She was a little bit more worse than Kanan was. But yeah, so we got to explore more arc with that. Then we explore a couple of their friends, and then third. Then we get to explore like Kanan has a love interest. Everybody know about that girl in high school you want to get and all that, but she was with this dude and all that and everything that. He had this girl he been loving since elementary school. I forgot the character's name or whatever, but like he been loving her since like second grade, and Juba said she been curving you since the first grade though. So like he been trying to get her, and she got this boyfriend named Buck. And I ain't like I predict this or not, but like I kind of seen like he Buck gonna be a problem or something like that. And I had a prediction saying like he might end up killing this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I just thought at random when I saw like he might end up killing this nigga. So, but but we'll spoil that later. I'll spoil that later in this, in my review about what happened with that, like how that ends up happening. But yeah, so he has a love affection for this girl. So then just see where that goes and see within the season, see what happened with their relationship. How did that what that blossom into? So also then of course like to get on like of course Raquel's like I might as well say they ops like the enemies, the rival drug dealing gang, led by this guy named Nico as well, played by Joey Badass. Joey Badass is a good actor. Like people don't, I've just watched recently. Me and my friend were watching the Wu-Tang Clan's episodes, and I was saying like, yeah, Joey Badass is a really good actor. Cause I was talking about when I saw him on this episode of Power, I'm like, wow, he really is a good actor. Like he's a good rapper as well. Definitely most slept on, very underrated lyricist. People don't talk about enough how much of a good rapper Joey Badass is. But as an actor, as this character Neek, like he's pretty much doing his thing. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's one of these rappers that actually can act. Like he's doing a very good job at this. So, like I like his character Neek, but Neek is like the guy, he was telling her and Raquel like, all right, let's make a deal or something like that, cause a scene where like they're all sitting at the table at a restaurant and all that is Kanan, one of his friends, and his friend's sister. I forgot both the characters' name, but his friend and his friend's sister. Then the jukebox, her dad, then their other uncle, and Lauren Raquel. They're all Kanan's mom. They're all sitting there at the table at dinner, and then when they leave to go in their car, like Buck and his crew end up shooting up the air in the sky and all that, everything like that, just sending out a message and all that. And that's when like, oh, that's when Rucker has a meeting with Joey Badass character Neek, and tells them like, oh yeah, about the corners, what they want and everything like that, and they come up with negotiating a deal about what corners they want and all that. Of course, like I said, Kanan doesn't know about this. We'll spoil this later. Why Kanan doesn't know about this, but we find out about that. We pretty much find out about that. And they make a deal and everything like that. So they take corners, but things go real left real quick. I'll show you how to get to that. But then, like I said, we get to meet, Jukebox love wrench the white girl and they get up talking and end up getting close bond. I guess is when like Jukebox ends up feeling like, oh, when she finally finds out, hey, I do like girls and all that, she ends up getting real close to her. Then we get to the part where Kanan takes the test. He takes the test and all that. He's in the classroom, he's deciding, he's seeing all these white people there. He's just thinking like, man, this ain't for me. I'm gonna do everything for my mama. Like, bump it. Like, I'm just gonna answer all the answers B. Because I'm like, bump it. He just, guesses all the answers, said bump it. He's not with it. He's just like, bump it. I'm gonna take care of my mom, take care of the gang, handle my business and do what I'm supposed to do in the street. So that's how pretty much he's on. So that's what happens with that. So like I said, we see the choices they make. Both of the, you know what I'm saying. We see the choices some of the characters making. We see like Kanan made this choice like, I don't want a better school. I'm around these white people. I'd rather just help my mom and be at the school and be, like I said, end up being an adult dealer and all that. So he walks out the class and said, bump it. Then we get to the part where we get to see like Kanan. They see Buck, the Kanan and his homeboys. They all hanging out, chilling. Then it was like, oh, when his homeboy said, we see Buck over there in your mom's corner and all that. Of course, like I said, they mom gave, Buck and them that corner. But Kanan doesn't know that. So him and his homeboy, they both got their pistols and all that. It's like, yeah, let's handle this and all that. And Kanan already got animosity for Buck. Like Buck shot up in the air when he saw that Buck was the one that shot up in the air and all that and everything like that. Why they was at dinner with his family. Then of course Buck do got a girl too, the girl he liked. So it's all the resentment, like man, reason why he shouldn't like that dude and all that. So and of course Buck is actually with Neek. That's one of that's Neek's homeboy. Work for Neek and all that. But Kanan sees him and all that, sees Buck and them and all that. And him and his homeboy grab the pistols. They start shooting at him like Buck surprised. He ain't expect them to see that like. Kanan starts shooting him and Kanan ends up killing him. His first kill. So in the first episode we see Kanan's first kill. I'm like, dang. And it goes back to what like you hear 50 Cent narrating the character say it sticks with you, it follows you forever and all that and everything. And we remember in Power, Ghost telling Tariq before Tariq ends up killing him, he said, son, you can never walk away from this. This will never, you can't go back, you can't come back from this. You never can walk away from this at all. And that sticks, and that's true. Once that first kill, you never can walk away from it. And we see Kane, that was his first kill with Buck. He didn't mean to kill him nothing like that. He didn't mean to kill him or nothing like that. But it's like, that stuck with him once he had that first kill. And that starts everything, means everything goes left. So, follow that, we see the scene Raquel with this dude she met at the bar as well. At the club where like there are people on and everything like that. She ends up going on a date with this guy. And later on in the episode, and then that's when her younger brother tells him like, oh yeah, Kanan's uncle tells him, oh yeah, it's Kanan. Something went down. And that's when he tells him about, yeah, I killed Buck and all that and everything like that. And that's when Kanan was saying, nah, I want to stay in my grandma. He was saying like, oh, if you wanted me to stay in my grandma, I'll be able to stay in my grandma ever. But long story short, we just get to the point where like Kanan ends up, how they always say you gotta burn down your clothes when you burn up your clothes on them when you kill somebody. So it runs to the point where like Kanan saying he want this is what he want. He want to be in the game. He want to be in the street. He want to protect his mom. He want to be out there. So we see that Kanan always had it in his heart to be this like character now. We still don't get to probably want to know what happened to him. What made him so ruthless? I still don't know what happened to his mother. What happened to his uncle? What really happened that made him transform to that savage dude we get to see on Power? What made him that straight up savage type of dude and all that? So, but get straight to it. He's ended up going out taking out the trash. And his mom ends up hearing gunfire shot. The people from Buck's camp, whatever, Nico's camp, and they're shooting at him. And like he's lucky he's alive, he doesn't get hurt or anything like that. And then after the shooting, the cops come, and then we introduced the Omar Epps character. His character, Detective Howard. So interesting type of character and all that. Later on in the previews, we see that he actually works with Nico, like he's actually with Nico and them. So he's kind of like cricket cop, you know how it go. One of them cricket cops, like we seen all in Power, like kind of with the other enemy, the other dope guys with the ops. So he with their enemy and all that and everything. He really cool with them. So yeah, so pretty much you get to be him and everything, and his assistant, this other white girl, kind of white woman, I forgot her name, who seems kind of lost and all that, just like a new young detective. So it's interesting gonna see that dynamic between Omar Epps' character, Detective Howard, and Raquel, and just see the dynamic. We get to see how that goes and all that, and to see what happens with them as well, what that blossom into between that arc. He could be like another Detective Sachs, we don't know, or another kind of different kind of detective, we don't know, but but we'll see. So we get to see that, and that's when like we say like, I think Raquel's younger brother, Kanan's uncle, the younger one says, hey, you can't protect Kanan forever, no matter what school he goes to, he finna have enemies around him and all that. And I think when he tells that's when she decides to make the decision. When she wakes him up out of bed and shows him how to directly use a pistol, and shows him like, hey, you want to be in this game, now you in it, and teaches him how to shoot, teaches him how to use his pistol, and show him how to handle his business and all, if he want to be a part of the adult game like that. So pretty much see it. 50 Cent narrates the same at the end, say, I know how my shit ended. Now you seeing how my shit getting started. In between is the real reason, which definitely, like I said, I can't wait to see what happens in between, what makes him go, what makes Kanan into this guy. Like I said, we see on Power made him that ruthless gangster that we see the OG out of over Ghost and all. What made him that guy. So, like I said, I love the episode. Definitely was into it. Definitely nonstop. I loved it. I'm definitely gonna keep on doing reviews on this. Like I said, I love this episode. I love this new series that came to me. Kane look like it might be better than Tariq's spinoff. It might be better than the original Pride as well. The way it's looking, that old school '90s feel and all that, just everything. How it feels. It got that little bit of a Snowfall feel to it as well. How Snowfall, built, in the '80s. Snowfall's like technically made in the '80s and all that. And also Power Book 3 Kanan is as well. So it has that type of vibe and energy to it. So it just makes it better with its own thing. So like I said, I'm loving and enjoying it. Got a little bits with the wiring into it as well. To me, I feel like got a little bit of wiring in it as well. So I love it. Anybody that watch this video, anybody in the comment section disagreement on it, y'all can say what y'all want about it. But I loved it. I enjoy it. I'm keep on doing reviews on it as well. So like I always say, man, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, this is Power Book 3 Kanan, my reaction / review on it. Y'all have a good day and y'all have a good night.